Thought I'd let you know that I have a little story to tell you guys today, so stick around because there's a lost dog. I'm involved in some way for finding this pup. And I'll come in and squeeze into his glands. Good day, puppy lovers. Today I have my little pup with me today. His name is Buddy Boo. He's an older boy and he needs to wear this little diaper because he does pee-pees a little everywhere. He has a hard time holding on to that pee-pee, so he wears a diaper. I'm going to show you how I brush his teeth. I'm going to get him to the tub right away and I will see you there. Bud is 14. He's a Maltese Shih Tzu mix. He was born here in my house. His mom and dad were Samu and Valentine, which I lost last year, last January and last March. So little Bud here has been alone. Well, alone. We got a new pup in August, so I mean, he's been without his parents, so he was pretty depressed about that. So I'm just gonna get him washed here and I'll meet you at the table for that story I promised you.
For those who don't know me, I'm Elizabeth Jenn, professional dog groomer since 2010.
He has these types of warts, or I just try to keep it clean because it does leak sometimes. So I've been cleaning out this area with a little bit of alcohol. And I'll go in there with a little flea comb and just around it. And I just, clean this area a bit lightly. I don't want to rub. But he's been doing good because it had started leaking. See, there's like a permanent hole in there. That hole. There's that little tiny hole. So anyhow, I'm just leaving it like that, and I'll have to see the vet to see what they have to say about that. All right, so I'm just going to cover that part where those little ouchies are, and I'm going to give a little spray here. I don't want to get any on that because it is open a little. Give this a clean. We're going to take all of that out. This side too. Do this quick, honey. Hang on. Bring this up here like that so that I can come in and cut. Okay, you're going to cut some, honey. Yes. We're going to get you dried and all warmed up. I'm going to wash his ears. Actually, I'll clean the eyes first. Do this here. And Bud has always had this eye problem where his eyes just leak. He has lots of tears and there's not much you can do. Sometimes some of these dogs, they just have leaky eyes. And I've done everything right for tear stain removers and whatnot. The best thing is really to just cut it out and clean it as often as you can. So Bud doesn't have much hair in his ears. I just clip like that and then I take a nice pad here and so as long as this little pad is coming out clean, I'm done my job. So we're gonna do this side. As I said here, either he doesn't have much hair. A few hairs is fine. We just don't want that blocked up. So I'm gonna take a second pad here and I'm going to clean that ear. Sorry, honey. Oh. So yeah, he's always had nice pink ears like this. His mom used to clean him all the time. She used to lick his ears. So I'm just gonna empty out his glands here. I forgot to do it in the bath, so I'm just going to empty a little bit out. That's how I do it. I usually if I don't do it in the bath, all I do is I take a baby wipe like this, hold the tail up, hold the baby wipe at the tail, and I'll come in and squeeze into his glands. Bud absolutely loves having his glands done because after that he seems to feel so much better. So I just don't want you guys to see really what's going on in there either. So they're pretty clean right now, the glands, his bum. And yeah, I forgot to do it. I usually do it at the tub, then I wash with soap afterwards, but that's not the situation here. So I figured I'd just show you guys how I do this. So I'm just going to get all of this hair up and away from his little bum there. You can come in with a clipper, however you want to do it. Please just be safe around this little area here. So I'm gonna cut some more off and then I'm just gonna clean again one more time with another clean baby wipe. And then we're gonna dry him and get his cut going. Oh, there you go. Glands don't need to be done all the time. Most of the time they get done on their own, right? And if you do it too often, you can end up with a very lazy gland and the gland would have to be emptied manually all the time. All right, guys, I have so much to share and so much to talk about today. First of all, I am going to tell you about the story. Give me 2 seconds here. I'm just going to brush his teeth. I want to show you how I do that. Once I start with the cut and all, I'm going to explain the story about the lost dog and what's been going on. It's this huge Chow Chow that's stuck in minus 30 degrees Celsius right now. Guys, I'm going to let you know about this in 2 seconds. Could you give Bud some love? Can you write, Buddy Boo, good boy? Can you say good boy to Bud? He's been such a good boy for me today. And it's not a work day today, so I'm just doing this. It's Sunday, so I'm posting this on the Monday. So, yeah, we're doing this today. Give him a good lovin'. Guys, please, say please. All right, so first I'm going to get some water in here. No worries, Bud is on the table. He is tied and he is secured. I just want to get some water in here. He's secured, he's right there. I know my pup, he won't jump. All right, so I usually start off, we're going to do some toothbrushing here. I have stuff to explain to you guys about the staining back there. He's got some staining, and I'm going to explain that to you why. Okay, so I usually like to take a little bit of water, and I'm going to just do a first run. Now, yes, guys, Bud is an older dog, so his teeth are not perfect. And I give it a first run with the the toothbrush, and some water. I'm just going to open up his cheek here, put the toothbrush in there, hold his mouth down, and this toothbrush is really extremely soft, okay? Because I just want to go and get some of that yucky pasty stuff out. I'm going to go in there. He's had some bleeding because, as I mentioned, this pup is an older dog, so he does have a little bit of tartar in there. I've been cleaning his tartar with I have an ultrasonic scraper. I don't know what the real name is. So I just open up his cheek, put it in on the side, hold his mouth closed lightly, and give it a light brush, up and down. See, there was some bleeding yesterday there. He seems to be okay today. So I just like to do the first run like that. He's not like a fan of the brushing. He's got some missing teeth here in the front. So as I said he's 14. I think he's going on 15. And not to forget, when we're brushing, guys, you gotta brush the gums, okay? It's not necessarily just the tooth. You gotta get down to the gum line. See here, the gums down there? Trying to get in there. Whew, he's gonna sneeze. All right, so once I've done that, I come in and I use a little bit of the toothpaste. I put a little on my finger because I like to take the toothpaste and jam it right inside in the brush. And this toothpaste it's Fresh Breath enzymatic toothpaste. It's got baking soda and it's got enzymes to help cut out the bad odor. It really, really works. If you guys, I got this on Amazon, guys. I really, really, really love it. It's just the Arm & Hammer one, Fresh Breath. So I'm going to go straight down in there. I open up his cheek here like that, put it in. He's used to this. I've done this his whole life. So I just put that in. You can hear the rub. You try to get the bottom, get a little bit on the top. See, I'm twisting. There. I'm going to rinse that out. Okay, yucky, yucky. And I'm going to get another little dab, very little. You don't need a lot. Just a little dab. And I'm going to do the other side. And this is just to get into the mouth and help kill off the bad bacteria that's inside. Okay, so I slip it in, holding it down. Good boy. Come on, guys. Show me a toothbrush. Is there any toothbrush emojis? Teeth brushing emojis? Look at that toothy. doesn't like that. Got some missing teeth down there. You know, we do our best as pet parents to try to brush their teeth. There were times where I was really good with it and times where I wasn't as good. But I always come back to it and get regular. So in the morning, I'll try to do it for him. Lately, I've been brushing in the morning with just water. And at night, I use this one. But I will be buying another toothpaste that's going to be for tartar buildup. And I'm still using that. And what's it called? It's a ultrasonic toothbrush type of thing, and it comes in and it scrapes off all of the bad gunk. See, he's got some back there, right here. I'm working on that right now, trying to get all of that out. So it gets pretty yucky. And I like to keep his face nice and short because brushing their teeth when they have too much hair on there, that's not really easy. So that's about the toothbrushing. If ever you have any questions, please ask. I will help the best I can. And I'm going to now continue on with his groom. All right, so I want to get to what I was saying about here. See how orange he is here? All of this, that's stained. That's stained from wearing that diaper you saw in the beginning. Because we go to bed at night, we put his diaper on, and in the morning when we wake up, he gets up during the night and he just, he doesn't tell us or go bark or whatever. He just like urinates right where he stands type of thing. Because he's older, he gets, as soon as he wakes up or, and usually he would come to the door and then he'd ask for the door. So there's no more door asking. We always have to think of, as soon as he wakes up, sending him outside. As soon as he's eaten, send him outside. But we keep the diaper on just in case. So if we have to leave the house, he has the diaper. And if when we go to bed, he has the diaper. Because he just doesn't remember where the door is. He just gets up. He kind of seems lost. He's an older dog, so it's a little normal that he's going through this. So anyhow, so yeah, I also want to talk to you guys about his diet change. Before finishing with talking about the diet change, I'm just going to explain here what I'm going to do. The only thing that will get rid of this is shaving it off, it's cutting it. But I am not going to shave Bud because I find him a little on the thin side. See, you can feel the bumps on his spine, but he gained weight lately. He's gained some more weight because I changed his diet. Now he's eating raw. He's on a raw food diet. He also has his other little biscuits that he eats, but his normal dog food, but he prefers just the raw. And the raw is not me preparing it. I buy it already well prepared, well balanced for the dog's health. Because lately I found that Bud wasn't eating much. And I don't know if it was a tummy thing or whatnot, but he wasn't interested in his food, so we changed the food. It wasn't that. And then when I decided to go on the raw diet, oh my God, guys, he is eating and he is doing way better. He has so much more energy. He plays with the other pup. So anyhow, let's get into the groom because I know you're here for that and not too much blabbering. I'm going to continue with the groom. Oh, and by the way, if ever you change to a raw diet, you just always have to be sure to change slowly, so you don't want any tummy upsets. So I'm going to continue on. We're going to give him a shorter cut. I'm going to use a 13 millimeter. That is this one here. It's the orange Andes comb here. He usually got a shave. I shaved him. He used to always have a shave. But now I give him a little longer because I just find he looks better in a longer cut now that he's older, and he's got muscles that are not as nice, so when you shave them down and they're old, they look really skinny and scroggly. So I'm gonna give him a nice number one Andes, the orange color. But to start off, we are going to do his feet. So Bud's not always particular about his feet. Not that he's mean or anything, but he just kind of pulls sometimes. And just because I said that, he's going to be a good boy. So we're going to just shave these little pads here. And it's important, especially in the winter time, if they go outside and in between the pads here, they can get that snow that gets compacted in there. and it freezes and it makes these little balls of snow, and that's pretty cold. So they don't really enjoy that. Sometimes you'll see them walking around and they're walking on 3 feet. They've got 1 foot up in the air. Well, it's because their feet are getting cold. So bring them in at that time. Especially these little dogs, they can't handle the cold as much. So, as I was saying, okay, I have this story for you guys. Sit back and listen, because I'm going to start from the beginning. So, there's this girl in my area who decided to adopt a Chow Chow, a female Chow Chow. And Chow Chows are pretty big. And a lot of groomers actually turn Chow Chows around. They don't like to groom them because Chow Chows are kind of known to not warn in advance if they don't want something done, and they just attack or whatever. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying what I have heard. So yeah, this girl went and she went to pick up this Chow Chow at this lady's house because the Chow Chow had belonged to a few other families, and now it was this lady who had the dog, and she decided that the dog wasn't going to work out for her, so she's given up the dog. So the girl goes to pick up the dog, and the dog is growling at her, and he's not very happy. So the lady says, oh, don't worry, the dog is fine, it's just because he doesn't know you, so maybe if you sit on the ground and try to give him some food, the dog will be fine. Give her some food because it's a female dog. So she starts giving some pieces of, little pieces of his food that she's used to. And then the dog decided to actually, he decided to go up to her and sit with her, and she started petting him and everything was fine. So she's like, yeah, I really like this dog, so I'm going to take this dog home. So she takes off. Oops, hang on, bud. When they're older like this, they have trouble standing on their little feet like that. On 3 feet. So yeah, so she gets the dog in the car, puts the dog in the back of the car, like in the back seat. And the dog is tied. She had a collar on, and she tied the leash to, the headrest. We're all good, bud. We're all good. It's okay, honey. And so she tied it to the headrest, and then she takes off, and she's on the auto route. She's driving on the highway, and suddenly the dog starts vomiting, and she's like, oh my God, poor pup. So she can't do anything, she's on the highway. And so the dog goes, and she decides to open the window for the dog to start, so the dog can have a little bit of air. No, wait, bud. You're all good. See how he pulls? He pulls. He's strong. So yeah, so she opened the window, and the dog jumped out of the window on the highway. But the dog was hanging. Can you imagine? He was on the leash like this, and he jumped out, and he was hanging from the leash outside of the car. And then suddenly and then she saw that, so she's trying to stop the car, what's going on? And the dog slipped out of her collar, sorry, I keep saying his. And then after that, there was an accident with 2 other cars. 2 other cars ended up colliding because, of course, there's this dog that lands on the highway, right? So there was a car accident, and she's freaking out. The dog's in the middle of the highway, running around. So the dog ends up running alongside the highway, and she couldn't catch the dog, right? She's kind of stuck, but the dog is free. So she ends up posting on Facebook and whatnot, and in our area we have a community where people help, and in my area, and so she posted there, but I haven't seen this yet. So this is where I come in. A few days ago, so at the time that you're seeing this on Monday, it was Wednesday or Thursday, where the dog, I was working here in my grooming room, and I look over to back there, and I see a Chow Chow that's just sitting there, and I'm like, oh my God, someone lost their dog. And it's a huge Chow Chow. I don't know if you've ever seen a Chow before, but they are very impressive. I thought of Hachi right away. I know Hachi wasn't, in, that movie? Well, I mean, I know Hachi wasn't a Chow Chow, it was a different kind of dog, but it kind of reminded me of Hachi for some reason. I guess it's just the way she was poised, just sitting there. Just like Hachi did. So anyhow, so she goes and I yell out to my husband. I says, oh my God, come see, there's a dog. There's a Chow Chow back there. Where? And he comes to the window and the dog goes running. So it's like, okay, well, someone will have to find their dog. There's nothing that I can do. Seriously, I mean, maybe I was thinking maybe the dog's not lost, because back there, sometimes people go walking and they just let their dog loose to, run around a bit because it's a safe area. And so I figured maybe someone's just behind the snowbank there and it's all good. So anyhow, so leave that at that. The next day, I'm hearing Jace, my other pup. Oh, I should put a link to that, or at the end, put a link to my other dog groom that I did. That's my dog, Jace, for those who didn't see it. Anyhow, so Jace is out there barking like crazy and going nuts, and I'm like, what is going on with that dog? So I go to look, and the other dog is there again. And I'm like, okay, well, if this dog is still there, there's something that's making her feel safe. Hang on. Sorry, I just wanted to change up for a 0. That's a 16 millimeter. I'm going to do on Buddy's head here. All right, Buddy Boo. So anyhow, do I want to do 16? No, actually, I'm going to go back to 13. Oh, sorry, guys. No, I am going to go back to 13. I'm just going to do the same length everywhere. So anyhow, so then I decide to go outside and take a picture of this dog and post it to Spotted in my area and post it to Facebook and whatnot. And then as I went out and I took the picture. The dog was far, so I had to zoom the picture back in and take a screenshot and whatnot, and just so we could see the dog really good. And then after that, I posted it, and then people started writing me, oh my God, this dog has been lost since yesterday. Everyone's looking for her, blah, blah, blah. Her name is Fluffy. Okay, so we have a situation here. So these people are trying to find Fluffy. Give me a second, guys. Sorry, changing up my blade again. I don't want you guys to have to endure that. So then there's they asked me, people are saying, oh, call it this number, blah, 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 whatever. So I called it that number. See, I'm just going to show you guys. This is the only way we can take this out, is by shading it. It does get yucky. I mean, yucky, it can get smelly. Because, urine can really, really get bad. But urine really, really can stain, guys. It really can. So anyhow, I haven't been on it, like, I'd have to wash them every single day. And I groom all day long. It's not that I don't care about them, but I do wipe them up with baby wipes and whatnot and dry them up and change his underwear. Okay, so back to the story. I'm just going to do under his arms here. Oops, sorry, hon. Sorry. Just knocked my pup on his nose. Sorry, honey. Okay, so, yeah, where was I? Okay, so, yeah. So I ended up calling the lady, the new owner of this dog. And I guided her to show her, I gave her my address and all that to show her exactly where the dog was. So she showed up, and she ended up putting some food out for the pup, because we knew that the dog was in this area. So she put some food out, like just normal dog food, like dried dog food, kibble. And she was at the other end. And then I saw the dog come out, and the dog was eating. And I was on the phone with her, and she was at the other end. And I says, okay, the dog is back in this area where I had seen her. And I says, I can see her. She's chomping and eating her food. So she's like, okay. She asked me, then she says, she asked me, she says, can you join the group? Do you mind if we join you to the group for Fluffy, you know, because there's this group with people, we're all trying to figure this out and work this out together type of thing. So, okay, so I joined the group. And then Fluffy, well, as soon as she got close to Fluffy, she would start running. But we had snowstorms, crazy, look at this snow, guys, back there. We had crazy snowstorms in the last week. And I asked her, I says, because I'm still on the phone with her, right? And I asked her, I said, do you have any good boots on? She said, yeah, I have really, really high boots. I said, because you're gonna have to get into the snow, because the snow goes all the way up to mid-thigh at least. And I could see her walking, trying to get through all of that snow back there. That's crazy, a lot of work. So that wasn't working. So she ended up calling a company so we can get a cage, you know, one of those cages that once the dog gets in, the cage closes behind. So we're going to need to lure the dog with food. So this dog knows that there's food right in this area. So what we're going to do is put some food and get the dog to come. And then the dog's going to get nice and comfortable, and then the dog is going to go into the cage, and then we're going to catch the dog. So this is the plan for now. And these people that are doing this, they're used to rescues. So these are people who actually work, that do this for a living type of thing, right? But the thing is back there, that's the school. There's a school behind my house. And that doesn't belong to me. So the company said, well, we can only put that cage there if the school allows us. But it's March break right now, okay? And it's closed on the weekend because it's the weekend right now. Well, maybe not while you're watching now because I'm posting this in advance, of course. So it's not live. So we had to wait someone contacted the secretary of the school. Someone knew, luckily, the secretary of the school. So the secretary contacted the principal, and then the principal gave the okay. So it's all good. Now they're going to set up a camera back there, and we're going to try to catch Fluffy. And my part in all of this is I've been feeding. I've been bringing the dog some, as I mentioned, I have, he's falling asleep. Look at that. Bad. He just falls asleep and I don't know. Yeah, so as I mentioned, I have some raw meats and, you know, the good stuff, the goodies. And I went and brought also some, they were mentioning, one of the girls was saying, well, you should put some sort of soup-based bouillon or something. And I had some actual real duck soup base. And I warmed it up, boiled it up, so that I could go bring it next to the food so that maybe the dog will end up catching odor, right? He'll start smelling and it'll smell good and he'll come to the food. So, but what ended up happening, there's also this other girl in the group. She just kept sticking her nose in there and, oh, I'm gonna go see, and and then everyone's like, no, we want the dog to not be afraid, right? So we want the dog to come to the food, and then, you know, then we'll put the cage afterwards, and then it'll go in the cage, and then they'll have cameras set up and whatnot. So this other girl ends up showing up there on site, and she's writing us and showing us pictures and videos, but we're all telling her, no, leave the premises, please. We want the dog to feel secure so that the dog doesn't run away. If you're there, the dog won't feel safe, because this dog just runs. As soon as the dog sees a human being, runs. But I'm just thinking of this poor girl that just got this new dog, and the dog is, you know, giving her all this trouble already. I really, really feel sad for this girl. By the way, I'm not taking too much off with Bud here because I groomed him not that long ago, and he doesn't have much, you know, I was grooming him from because he was shaved before, and I'm trying to let it grow a bit. So I'm just really cutting just a bit off just to trim it and make it nice and clean. So how about we're doing that? We got a good boy, bud. You're a good boy. No, you see how I mentioned that he just doesn't want me to hold his foot? He wasn't like this before. It's like an aging thing, I guess. Maybe doesn't feel comfortable. But yeah, so that's the story going on. I'll let you guys know more about it because the dog, we didn't catch the dog yet, right? So I'm still in the group. We're still working on finding Fluffy. But she is still there. And that girl that I mentioned that was, you know, we asked her to leave because she was just kind of scaring the dog off in the sense that, because she showed up there in the back and she ended up taking pictures and video, and we're like, okay, we're happy to know that the dog is there. Thank you. Now you have to leave because we don't want the dog to run away and the dog ends up somewhere else that we don't know. And there's a huge ditch back there. And if the dog ends up in the ditch or ends up wanting to cross that, see, there's a whole bunch of cars back there, and ends up crossing that highway, yeah, we don't want that, right? So anyhow, I'm really hoping that this little pup, I call her a pup, but she's, you know, of course she's an adult. I call all the dogs pups. I'm hoping that she'll be caught because it is so cold out there. It was like minus, I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but with wind chill, it was minus like 29, minus 30, whatever. Last night, we woke up this morning at minus 29. And now there's another, more snow coming. And when they come clean out the snow, they blow all that snow there. And that's where Fluffy's been hanging out, where all the food is. Someone was sweet enough to put a blanket. I hope that she understands that she can go sit on that blanket so that she can give a break to those little toes. Because, oh my God. And both times that we saw her, like when I saw her and then when the other girl saw her and she just posted the video of her. I don't know if I mentioned that. Did I mention that? She posted a video of her. She was just sitting there. Yeah, that's it. Just like Hatchie. She was just sitting there and, you know, just calm. And it's like, oh, she seems so lost. And she's such a sweetie. I saw a picture of her yesterday, another picture like from her other owner. And her tongue is like, you know, Chow Chows, they have this really dark purple, almost blackish tongue. She had her tongue out, and I don't know why they have purple tongues. Do you guys know? Does anyone know why this breed has a purple tongue? Does it serve a purpose? If anyone knows, let me know. Have you ever owned a Chow Chow? My sister had a part Chow Chow, I think part Golden Retriever, if I'm correct. And her name was Sasha. She was such a good girl. Her tongue wasn't that dark, though. She was not pure. So that is my story, guys. I will let you know how things go for sure. Like in my next, either my live, Wednesday, I'm live on Wednesday. For those who don't know, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Every Wednesday. And I upload new videos every Monday and Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern time. So check your time zones. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do so and help me out. This really does help the channel, and I know everyone says that. And the reason why it helps the channel is because the more people watch, the more people subscribe, the more that signals YouTube that, you know, that your content is worth watching, and then it shows other people. It says, okay, well, if people are watching then and engaging, then it must be important. It must be an important video. Well, important or educational. So there's not much to take off of his tail. I'm not going to really touch his tail. I don't want to touch anything on there. I'm just letting that grow. All right, honey. So we're going to turn him around, and I'm going to groom his face here. All right, so once again, not too much to take off. I'm going to stand here. I'm going to take a little bit off here, just the front here. Watch this. I'm just going to clean this up with my finishing thinners here.
Hey there, pet parents and grooming gurus. If you enjoyed my tail-wagging transformations and want more tips to keep your furry friends looking fabulous, just hit that subscribe button. Remember, every click helps spread the love and lathers of grooming joy. Subscribe now and let's embark on this fluffy journey together.